Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping Tactical Nut here, and today I wanted to try something a little different. Last week my parents went on vacation and they returned, and you know, it's a lot of people like to do, like to bring the family gifts and souvenirs and stuff when they get back. So one of the things they brought me was an old World War II mess kit. So extremely excited about that. Thank you, Mom and Dad. That's going to be awesome. It's going to go in my get home bag. But then they also bought me these. Now, one, they know I love knives, and two, you know, they were just like, yeah, we just want to see what you thought of them, what, you know, you could do with them. So I sat there and I'm like, well, you know, we got kitchen knives at the house already. So I just kind of kept looking at them like, what am I going to do? This one has no markings really, except for right here. And it just says stainless china. This one says Lifetime Cutlery Old Homestead. Hopefully you can read that. Stainless Japan, right? This has wood handle, this has a synthetic whatever. Full tang, tapered, kind of a rat tail tang, but still full, or tapered, full tang, but tapered. So I was looking at them and I'm just like, well, I don't know, what am I going to do? Then it kind of hit me, you know, as I'm looking at the fact that they're full tang. I mean, they are really thin, they're kitchen knives. So just imagine anything that you got in your house, that's what it is. But the thought was, I wonder if you could use these as like a survival knife. Let's just say, you know, something went really wrong and you don't have any of your normal gear, and this is kind of what you're left with. Would it work? I don't know. I mean, they're really thin, so I would imagine it's going to do something, but I don't know. Let's give it a shot. I've got a piece of cedar here. So, I mean, if you're going to test it, might as well abuse it, right? Get one of the hardest woods you have around and see what'll happen. But we're going to thump on this thing. Start with this one first, and let's see that if it's in an emergency and this is what you got, is it going to help you? All right. There's a log here. So, if you want to, put it in the comments below before I start hammering, is this thing going to break? Or is it actually going to surprise us all and do everything we need it to? Here we go. Well, first result number one, you see that bend right there? Well, so maybe a one-time use kind of tool, but now this is a big knot in the, or extra branch. Let's help it. Come on. Amaze me, little knife, amaze me. It's actually making it through. Kind of. I think I split the handle. Yeah. But, man, you still got steel in there. I don't know. May not be as comfortable to use. Alright, let's try to get this. There we go. Alright, so may start to fall apart. Maybe the synthetic handle isn't the way to go, but I mean, a lot of people do have wooden handle kitchen knives, so maybe the other one will stand up a little better. I mean, it's doing it. It's paying the price. This is kind of funny to me. Man, look at that bend. But, I mean, I did have to sharpen it right before I came out. Let me adjust this down a little bit. Because it had some rolls and stuff in the edges already, but well, it's still feather stick though. Let's try. Yes, get the fire still out. It's in my pocket. Strikes the fire still. I'm gonna try something real quick. I mean, it's not throwing massive sparks, but let's see something here. Come. Well, this I mean, it's getting some sparks off, but it's just not getting enough. But I mean, part of that is starting to get some of those lumps and stuff. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But I mean, if you had your cotton balls and Vaseline, there we go. That could probably get you enough spark to get that going. But wow, I gotta say, I'm somewhat surprised. Now the knife, the handle, let's just go ahead and rip this off because that's about useless now. That side's sticking around. Yeah. What's it look like on the inside, but I would say this just may be an option in a crisis. It's may only be able to use it a couple of times, but I mean, if it got you through a night or maybe two, enough wood to process a fire in an emergency till you could get something else. I mean, this is cedar. This is really hard wood. Huh. All right. Let's try candidate number 2. I will predict that the handle will hold up better, but this is much, it's about the same thickness, but just a lot, you know, a lot more narrow. So, let's try this one the other way. Move this back up. These are some of the fun things that you get to do when you're testing gear. Just try to find new ideas and crazy things to do. Testing the limits of stuff that you have. This way, the time came and you needed additional tools, you already know what you could or could not use during that time. Okay. Not bad. What if you had to? Now these things are so thin and so light. Chopping, and this one's not bending at all. Maybe the Japanese create a better steel. And these, I think my parents got them like a flea market or antique consignment shop or something like that. Didn't hardly pay anything for them, but the edge holding is more impressive than I expected on both of them. I mean, I expected both kind of after I batoned them that the edge would be useless, but wow, this is interesting. So just have to shave wood. What about larger pieces? Wow. Maybe. Just maybe. Wow, look at it. I mean, that's pretty good edge. No bending whatsoever. Obviously, you got to test it on the fire suit. Yeah, I mean, it's not a shower, but it, like I said with the using the other one, man, if you had a cotton ball and Vaseline, some trioxane, something like that, that'll definitely get you going. So add some live fire, because I did buy one of those. Those take a really easy spark. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen, interesting. Now, these blades are literally the same thickness. Let me give you some contrast. Oops, if you need it. Obviously you can see this one, the Chinese one. I mean, that's really bent. The edge bent, but still somewhat useful. Or, I mean, it was still putting, using this part of the blade. I mean, the edge held up on that, and it still would feather stick. You just got a nice little bend in there, of course, at the tip. This one, nothing. Like I said, I mean, I have no idea what the types of stainless steel they are. I would say that the Japanese one, obviously the handles held up a lot better, but I expected the wood. I mean, that was kind of a given. How about this? Let's try this right here. There's a little dead tree. It's really thin. Let's see how it'll chop. I mean, it's really thin, but why not? We're gonna abuse a knife, right? Oops, excuse me. Let's abuse it. Now, knife just kind of really wants to jump out of your hand. But wow, it's taking more out of this tree. I mean, if I was really wanting to save the blade in real life, you just bend the tree and then push on it where it's bending so you don't have to chop and abuse the edge so much. But this is very slippery knife. Obviously, we're just trying to test the limits of this thing. Huh. Now, obviously, this is not really thick. Maybe about an inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. But wow, I mean, that took some work, but literally still straight. Teeny tiny bend in the edge. I don't even know if you can tell. It's right here though. But lighting's probably not awesome right there. So after we chopped on it a little bit, let's see how it'll do. Still with the edge. Still get something done. I would imagine with a softer wood like this, let's do it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think your kitchen knife can be a survival tool. It's not just for cooking anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's for surviving. Because obviously, you know it'll be used for food prep around your campsite. So that's a given. But now we know it can be tan, it can shave wood, it can chop light stuff and still keep a decent enough edge to still feather stick and do other things. I mean, obviously you'll be able to notch if you can do all these other things with it. Wow. I gotta say I'm surprised. I will say I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have any high hopes for it, but it would appear that obviously it's a better selection to get wooden handles for the ones in your house than the synthetic ones. This is a little bit lighter, but this Chinese steel of whatever sort, it bent really easily, even though it's the same thickness as the Japanese one. So I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, I guess you can decide. Maybe you want to switch to wood handles in your house, and always keep in mind, this may get you through a crisis if you had to. If you just happen to be watching this, or have friends that aren't into being in the outdoors and stuff like that, so they don't have camping equipment, they don't have the knives and stuff that you do, and you're at their house when a disaster strikes, you still know this is going to get you through in a pinch. I just thought I would try and see what would happen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just thought hopefully I could entertain you a little bit and maybe shed some light on useful tools around the house that you wouldn't normally put to this kind of use. Alright guys, in the meantime, be prepared and have fun.